welcome to Blowing Smoke with the Laughing Dragon. See? And when we do it in post-production, it looks slick. So we have Casey Belew, right? Belew?
Yeah.
That's how I always said it in my mind.
That's like the Jungle Book, yeah.
Oh, it is like it, but you spell it different, so I never made the connection.
Yeah, I had someone say you should put like a big sign that's like a high-ass Belew on there. I was like, I kind of dig that, yeah.
We just found shirts. It's like, what is it? It's a koala holding tea, and it's up in a tree, but it's like a weed tree. And it says high koala tea, like high quality.
Dig it, yeah.
I was like, yeah, we gotta get them shirts. You know, like, like if you can give me a good dad pun joke on a shirt, like.
Something with quality. Love it.
Cool. So, Casey, we officially met last week, I believe.
Yeah.
We probably attended like an MCIA event or something in Springfield.
I'm sure we've passed ways like
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah. But you have been in the game for a while.
Yeah.
You have been in the I'm new to
Struggle,
it.
we'll call it, yeah.
Yes, the struggle.
Yeah.
I'm in the game. You were in the struggle. We're in the game now.
Well,
I think.
yeah.
I feel like we're in the game now, and
Cat
you
and mouse
before.
game, for sure.
Before it was definitely a struggle.
Yeah.
How long have you been involved with cannabis activism?
Well, I have been using cannabis as medicine since I was 16. So,
Okay.
I was
And you're
prescribed.
like 22 now?
I'm 25.
Yeah,
That's
I
so
did.
sweet.
I was on
Very
the right
good.
side. I never catch the right side, but tonight I did.
Yeah,
I didn't go for
right.
27.
Oh, I
it was
hate
one or
that.
the other.
I hate that. Yeah, I always guess up, and then I'm like,
Right.
I'm the asshole. Yeah.
Right. Now they have proof.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they always suspected I was, but now they have proof.
There was.
So since you were 16, you've been using cannabis as a medicine.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was.
Oh, that's gonna be crap on now. So who put that last dab in there?
Wasted away.
Q?
That's a
You?
party foul right there. Take
looking
the
at-
bird hit.
I'm looking. Yeah, that would be so disgusting right now. That would be so gross. No, I wouldn't do it. Even the Q. I don't know.
That's okay.
He's back there eating your food.
Yeah, that's okay. Anytime.
Is it all
It's
infused?
infused. Yeah, I brought a spinach tortellini with like a shredded lemon chicken, mozzarella on top. I'll play when I bring a plate. Yeah. There's peanut butter cookie sandwiches with like banana.
How heavily infused is like? How do you because I see. Let's plug your Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
So your Facebook
yeah.
group is
It's
Cooking with
Cooking
Cannabelews.
You nailed it. Yeah.
Did I?
You did.
Cooking with Cannabelews.
Nailed it. Yes.
I look like I practiced.
Yeah. What? Yeah, I've been started up just since the end of January, and we're almost at 500 followers on it. So it's exciting to like
so cool.
watch people actually like the stuff I cook too, because
Yes.
I love it.
Your stuff looks amazing.
It's always.
I'm
a good
super
day.
jealous.
Well, and I don't follow like traditional breakfast. Like I'm not like just eggs and bacon person every day. I'll throw some
Right.
like crazy veggies in
Yeah,
there.
how
I'll
do you
eat
have
salmon.
so much energy to like?
At the salmon. No.
You have kids?
I have a daughter. Yes.
And you still have energy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I work about a
Did we have energy after only one kid still? We might. It was so long ago. I don't
it's
remember.
Like a fake energy at this point. You know, I'm just faking it till I'm making it. So, no, but I really think it is the foods that I'm eating that are giving me this natural energy too. You know, I use apple cider vinegar. I really transitioned over from when I graduated high school. I was like 280 pounds. So finding like natural health and actually changing my diet, and you know, it's about being like just really aware about, you know, the stuff I'm putting in my body. Things I even thought were healthy then, I'm like, wow, trash. You know, and
Oops.
and it's just like a lot of misconceptions about health, and that's really what got me so interested in healthcare. You know, I've worked as a life skills trainer for 7 years now. That's scary, and it's just really like opened my eyes to what.
It sounds like you just help people be better.
Just
That's like a really cool name to like. You're like, hey, can I help you out?
Yeah, we do like community outings, and I work with adults who have physical and mental disabilities. So it's just like an array of different human beings that I've gotten to interact with, and it's just they're like really genuine, cool people to be around. So it's always a good time, you know. And my clients range from 25 to 55, so it's not like older or younger. You know, I've gotten to see the ends of it, but throughout, you know, there's misuse of pharmaceuticals in a lot of these cases because, you know, you'll prescribe one thing because you can't sleep, and then you're hungry, so something to eat, and then it's like just a domino effect of nonsense. And so, you know, I've said I wanted to be in cannabis, in the legal cannabis industry for 10 years now. You know, I was like, that's the goal, obviously. You know, no one wants to do things in secret for so long, and I've known it's something that was right.
It is such a drain.
Yeah, exactly.
It is such a drain. It's once you stop doing illegal things, you don't want to do them anymore.
No, absolutely.
You don't want to, because this was the last thing I
is
did.
Not worth the reward. You know, it's just no time of my life is worth stupid shit or a check or whatever. You know, it's just not worth my time, especially now that I'm a mom. Like, everything changed. Right. You know, I was so dumb when I was younger, but I was having fun. You know, I got it out of the way early, and now it's like, okay, it's time to be a boss and to raise her right, because especially now in society, you know, things can go one of two ways. With, you know, I have a family history of mental illness and addiction, and suffered myself with addiction, and so has her dad. So she kind of has a predisposition to fall into something really ugly. But like, if we can uplift that, and like, she called herself Dr. Gianna, and I'm like, yes, girl, I will. I'm saving up for college right now, because I get a little stressed thinking about that.
Nah, college is going to be gone by the time she's.
Yeah, right.
You know, we have 5 kids, which was crazy. But we really didn't learn that.
God bless you guys, 5. Jeez.
Well,
God bless you.
We had twins, so we kind of got screwed there. You know, like, we thought we were getting one, but we had 1 kid, 2 kid, 4 kid. So every time we doubled,
point, you're just like,
every time we doubled for 8 years, 1, 2, 4, and I'm like, it's either 8 or a girl, right? We got a girl. The last one, so that's
perfect.
Really good.
Yeah, so the first 4
she
are
recently
boys.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so it's
she recently cut her hair. Yeah,
huge.
yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how to be nice about it, but also like let her know that
Oh man.
Yeah. While Mom was down here at the store one day hanging out with Dad, she cut her hair.
Yeah,
who doesn't do that?
She's wild about it. And she's 4, so but she's very sassy, you know, like to a point where she told me earlier.
Was she there
like,
last night or
whatever?
Mom meeting? Was she one of the ones there? Was she the girl there? Was there one
Yes, that was my daughter.
The
loud.
Those 2 kids were fun though. They were like building like towers with.
So fast.
Oh, did they just meet each other that night? Kids are so cool.
They're cool.
I wonder if cannabis kids are even cooler because their parents are cool.
Exactly. They're just like used to being in an environment.
Hey, you want cool kids?
You have to
smoke some weed.
Exactly.
They're gonna love that at school. They're gonna love that. That clip.
Waiting for that.
Oh my gosh, I love giving them sound bites though.
Absolutely.
All right, so now we've had an intro. This is Casey, and you all know me. Unfortunately, probably. And then Cody's here because we're on Saturday, so Cody's here.
Yes.
If you see him jump up, it's because somebody has to work and I don't want to. So, we got some cool new stuff at our shop. First of all, we got some mini beakers. So, they're like super cute. And I know
the silicone. I do. I'm silicone.
And even you can even put your bud in the bottom. And then, so that's kind of neat. We got that in this week. Those are new. We got some Asheville, North Carolina pieces that are like, this isn't even the most expensive thing we got, but it's probably my favorite piece. I like seeing different things, and it's different than a lot of stuff we have at the store. Yeah, the color is beautiful. I don't know, I don't know what color, I should know what color that is, but yeah. We got a Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers, yes.
Bob's Burgers. Do you like cold work? I love cold work. Cold work is where they go in with the sandblaster after it's already been worked and it's cooled down and it's already the room temperature. Then they'll go with sandblasting and they'll cut designs into it. So this has some deep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I like cold work. I especially like deep cold work. Yeah. Like the stuff that goes goes halfway through the glass, you know, and it's. And then what else? Oh, we got these cool things.
Yes.
I have a couple of friends who blow glass, and it's just an admiration. I mean, it's really wow.
That was a good.
Awesome.
That's Casey Belew approved.
Yeah, right.
No, but yeah, those are kind of neat. I found a guy that makes metal pipes like this, titanium pipes. I tried to get an account with him, but he doesn't do wholesale. So, but they're out there, and so Cody likes that one. Because he's a heathen and he likes to smoke his weed.
Love it, yeah.
Casey got me to smoke a blunt, guys. Oh, Jamie says.
I did.
Jamie says she likes you. Jamie Tillman?
Jamie Tillman!
You admit that you like her?
You're a rock star. I love Jamie. Hell
Do
yeah.
you?
She's a good lady.
She's
okay.
Brilliant. She's weird about goats. Have you noticed that?
Have you? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
saw
seen the photos and the videos?
the silo. Did you see the silo she's gonna do?
Yes.
So Jamie, if you do that silo, yeah,
I got you.
I want to come play on the silo. I want to come with the goats.
No, don't let me help with that. I'm
No.
terrible.
I think she's gonna get jumping goats this time, maybe. And last time she had fainting goats.
Fainting goats, yeah, the half-ass. Oh my gosh, half-ass farms.
I know so many weird things about random people from this industry. You know, like
that's how social media works. It's weird because I'll have like an entire online relationship with someone, and I'm like, "Hello, family."
Yeah, yeah.
Just meeting you for the first time.
Right. Well, like I didn't know how to come in. Like the normal me, like I knew you because like I saw your face, and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." And you knew me, but I'm like, I didn't. So I just like came in and sat down because I'm like, I don't want to like, what's up, I just like come and sit down and we're just like talking.
Yeah. I look up, I was like, well, hey, you snuck on in, didn't you?
Yeah, because I really just felt like friends.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool meeting.
Yeah.
How long have you been so normal? I want to talk about normal so much because that's basically why we have. Isn't that why we have our weed legal right now? Normal was a big push behind that, right?
Normal's put in a lot of work for a lot of years. They've been active since the 70s, and it's something I laugh whenever people are like, I was at the St. Louis convention this week, and someone was like, Normal, that's a clever name. Are you like a dispensary? And I was like, first of all, I wish I was that clever. Think of it Normal. That's hilarious. But no, I was like, this is like a national organization, and I can't claim the rights to that without some legal issues.
There's some legal issues. They have more money.
Yeah, exactly. I got involved in Normal really for the first time, I guess, last year just as a member, but I stepped up as deputy director in August. It was kind of a dead chapter at the time. There weren't necessarily, I think they were doing quarterly meetings, but everyone was kind of burnt out after everything. There was a lot of work.
It's a big push, I bet. I bet you guys worked your butts off.
Yes, absolutely.
During the big
there
push.
are so many people who, took signatures and worked to get medical marijuana passed, and even to get it on the ballot with the right the right language behind it. It's really written by and for patients. That Amendment 2 is strong legislation. Right. We have a very well written policy.
I love our amendments.
I do too.
I love it like a person. It's so like everybody says it's bad. I'm like, it's so good for us though.
It's like a recreational policy in medical.
Yeah,
because you know what I heard the other day.
The very first thing is it says the intent is to what? Protect the patients, the growers, the sellers, everybody.
Absolutely.
So the intent of the entire amendment is to protect us. Yeah. So how much empowerment does that give you as a card holder?
Yeah. Well,
I'm like, look guys, I got a card and I got weed, I'm smoking it.
Yeah.
I'm like out there, I'm out and proud, as my wife says.
Yeah, and you should be, because it's something we should be proud of, because I always say, all cannabis use is medical. If you're a responsible adult using cannabis, it's medical. No one is like, I hate cannabis, I just do it every day, I just hate it so much. No one ever, but everyone has to find like a dose that works for them appropriately too, and that's a really important part of it. But I think that a medical card also validates you as a patient, no longer as a criminal.
Well, it actually does, right? Because in legal terms, Missouri has defined the term patient in regards to medical marijuana now. And if you are a patient with a capital P, wow, you can't be touched for a lot of stuff. And anything you can be touched with is like civil, like, hey, you did it wrong, stop it.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
so
if
it
you
keeps us
broke the
out
law,
of jail.
And
if you're out there like moving pounds,
exactly,
don't move pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you got 3. I mean, you can't move pounds if you have enough. If you have
ways to do things responsibly though, and there's just no reason to do them illegally anymore. And that's what there's so much education that needs to be done though. Still, we still have people who are getting repercussions through their primary care physicians because of cannabis. Like I was.
Did you see Poplar Bluff's thing?
Yes.
Today, you saw that? Oh my gosh! It makes me want to go to Poplar Bluff. It makes me want to just like hotbox in that. What was it? So who doesn't know? There was a patient there, and he said he had some medicine in his bag, in a sealed bag, and it made the room smell. And they left him a note that said, "You can't smoke in here. If you do smoke again, we'll call the drug task force on you." And that was like some hotel there in Poplar Bluff. And the guy's like, I never smoked in my room.
There's
an obvious difference in a difference between burnt cannabis and fresh cannabis.
I was in a room one time though, and we had the manager come up, and we hadn't smoked in the room because I was like, I'm not getting that $300 charge. Y'all got me effed up.
Right.
And so they came in there like, we're calling the police if you don't leave now. You're not supposed to smoke in here. And I was like, well, first of all, I'll leave. You don't have to get crazy.
Right.
The police.
This ain't worth seeing anybody getting shot over.
Like,
let's keep this at the lower
away
level.
I go. But we hadn't smoked, and then they charged me the charge for smoking in the room. And so I went back. I was like, nah.
Right.
And first of all, I left when I'd already paid for the room.
Are you a Canna mom too?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought so. You guys are all like, man. Yeah. Man, I will apologize quicker to Tanya Roth than anybody.
I love
because she's got a group of girls that'll tear somebody apart.
Yeah. Well, and in the right way, yeah.
No, totally. What they do is you
Canada.
guys back it up,
Yes,
right? Like the school up in Independence, right?
Oh,
they came in and they were doing stuff, and Canada Mom was like, all right, we got this.
Yeah.
Let's go talk. Let's go educate them.
Well, and that's all it takes, because it doesn't take. You don't need to run someone down and shove down their throat the things about cannabis that they probably know in the back of their head are already accurate. I know, right? Why not burn it all down?
That's kind of my MO. That's why I want you. That's why I want other people to do the educating part to get them into cannabis. And once they're into cannabis, I'm like, all right, cool, come see me. Come see me once you get it. But before you get it, like, I'm too much. Yeah. And I've been told that multiple times through multiple venues. It is too much.
Who you are.
So I've got to.
But I don't want to be seen as like, oh, a stoner just burning their life away. I want to be seen as a businesswoman using cannabis as medicine, and there's a thick line between those two things, especially as a mom who uses cannabis, because there are still repercussions I can face day to day if I'm not doing things by the letter of the law.
I see DFS stuff all the time.
Absolutely, even if you do follow the law, and that's scary because. Shoot, if DFS comes to my door, I'm sitting there and I'm like, look, I'm gonna educate you.
Right.
You're in here for hours
right.
now.
I'm about to live stream this. I'm about to live stream this, and we're gonna read Article 14 together.
Yeah, but I'm also responsible, about the way that I educate even my daughter about cannabis. I don't hide it off and try to make it.
You don't treat it like a Schedule 1.
Exactly.
You treat it like a natural substance that is more like I see it more of a nutrient. Honestly, it's more of a nutrient.
She calls it medicine too since she was young. She's like, oh, this is mom's medicine. Like, she told me one time, she was like, don't lose this. She was like, I know you're crazy without this. Don't lose this, mom. I'm like, you got it. But
that sounds like something Genevieve would say.
She's very well educated on what cannabis can do too. Yeah. We just got a book from my friend Amy called "What's Growing in Grandma's Garden," and it shows. Grandma's growing her own. She's got her special space in her garden. It's a locked greenhouse that she goes into, and the kid is. But it's just so normalized. It's normal.
Yeah.
And so then she'll take her plant. She makes smoothies to help her back, and it just walks a child through okay, it's not just medicine now. It's actually okay. When I hurt my foot, my mom feels pain like that. Maybe she needs that for her legs. Whatever it is, but. Cool stuff out here on the market for kids. So.
I kind of feel like that's the next step, is getting the people to realize that it's not medicine. Shh, don't say that, right? Because you guys just passed it on medicine. Well, now you're saying it's not medicine? Yes and no. I'm saying it's like vitamin D. I'm saying it's like vitamin C.
Right.
It's not medicine, but it's pretty crucial. And
and I think there is RSO, that's medicine,
because you don't use RSO unless you have to.
Exactly.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, and cannabis can be used medically to really change people's lives. And I don't, I never try to be the person that's like, cannabis is it. It's the cure-all. It's the life. It's the changer. Because it's not true.
I feel like more like it's the key to the door to change.
Well, and it's all about quality of life whenever it comes down to it. I use cannabis because I've had anxiety and depression since I was 8 years old. Even going back, I can remember my first panic attack at 8. And it's
8-year-olds aren't supposed to have those.
No, absolutely.
8-year-olds aren't supposed to have those concepts.
And even dealing with primary care physicians, I was prescribed Xanax at 16, and being totally unregulated on narcotics, I dealt with addiction issues very shortly after that, because I was like, I'm confused about what all what is good and what is not at this point. Because what pill. Okay, I'm given all these pills by a doctor who, she wasn't a bad doctor at all. Always listened to me, always cared, was always very open. but still prescribed a drug that definitely like changed the way I thought at
Your
the time.
head state,
you know, absolutely.
For sure. Okay,
I became a zombie, you know, and went from 0.25 to 2 milligram extended release over a couple of years, and that's horrible. You know, I could take one of those and be just like 12 hours, like, and that's not the way you want to feel, especially like cannabis helps me like inhibit my creativity. You know, it takes me to a whole new level, but in an organized way. You know, it's not
do you do art, or is your art food?
I always like to paint. Oh yeah, I like, the more I get into it too, like learning to plate appropriately, because I'm a mess. Like
plating is so. God. I saw Matt made some freaking vegan,
beautiful,
cool stuff. Yeah, but he said it's not for sale because it took too long to make. It's beautiful photo.
You know, honestly, it was about like 5-6 hours of labor to do the components between the custard. Making puff pastry is a bitch.
Yeah,
because you got to keep it cold and constantly be pulling it in.
Oh, I watched those shows. Yeah, but you got to fold that in. Yeah.
He knows.
Do you watch those? Do you watch Bake Off? You do. You don't?
No, not the British one.
Oh,
There's so many.
Oh, it's so much better.
I've been watching Giada since I was like 11, but I like the classic, like.
Oh man,
well,
the Great British Bake Off. I've learned so much from them, and you know, it's cool. I'm sure, like Matt. No, you might know. I'm not trying to like, but like in France, when you go to like a French cooking school, they have different recipes for different seasons because the eggs will be different throughout the season, right? Have you ever learned, like, chickens will lay better eggs during some time? Well, they'll like stronger eggs during some parts of the season. So during that time of the year, it's good to use these eggs for this, but it won't work as well during other parts of the season.
The yolk would be richer. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because they've got all the nutrients. You know, like springtime, you know, summertime right now, when they've got all those nutrients, they're supposed to be making those babies. Yeah. You know, and they work differently than one that's going to be in the dead of winter. So the rabbit holes everywhere, so deep, right? Like, there's no way I can ever be a chef, but I know Matt now, so
yeah, it's good
stuff.
It's like it's a never-ending pit for sure, because there's so much to learn. You know, there's no one who can just know everything there is to know about every cuisine from every culture, and you're just constantly like taking in new information. Always learning, which is awesome.
Beth says blow some smoke for her. Yeah. I guess we should. Casey got me to smoke a blunt earlier because I was.
That's what I know.
I'm telling you, it's Lil Wayne. Oh, it's again Lil Wayne.
Oh, shit.
No, because he's been playing blunt blowing on my Pandora a lot. He's been getting in there, and so I'm like, I've been thinking about it, and I keep seeing Daniel. Do you know Daniel Jones up at Peace of Mind? He'll wrap like 10 blunts a night, and I'm like, why do you spend so much time rolling, just sitting there rolling blunts? Like, why do people like blunts so much? So I tried it. It's all right.
It's both petty and physical. I think that's why I like it too. You know, it has that little like, you know, you get the little head high from like tobacco. So it's like that mix with like a nice crisp cannabis high, and then relaxing. But I'm also really picky about what strains I smoke too.
Out of a blunt, you like to smoke certain strains?
Just in general, I guess. I like a sativa dominant hybrid because I like the little bit of relaxation from the indica, but still like.
Have you had Golden Goat? Golden Goat's pretty good.
It's always hard to say too because of the bullshit names I've been given.
Right.
Fruity Pebbles. I'm like, you don't have to give me a name. You know,
right. I like it because I'm like that logical. I'm the one that had that diary. Yeah. And I'm like, I remember when I found out that I needed more THC. I was at the diner over here, Mom's Diner, one morning. I had Pineapple Trainwreck. And yeah, it's between Trainwreck and Pineapple Express. And I was just cracking up laughing with Melissa. And it was I used Canatonic before because I was scared of getting high. So Canatonic is almost a 1-to-1 mix. And I was like, all right, well, I don't want to get high. That's all I know is I don't want to get high. So I drove up to Colorado and bought an ounce. You're like, I drove to Colorado and all I bought was an ounce, people.
The whole trip?
Yeah. Because I was only interested in one strain. I didn't understand what cannabis was yet. All I knew was CBD worked really well. And so I started here, Cody, load that up for us. I started reading about the entourage effect. and how what I had was an isolate, and what I really wanted was a full spectrum. But full spectrum was super expensive back then. 2 years ago was like insane.
Why did you start using cannabis?
I don't. All of us, because Beth needs us to blow some smoke for her.
Okay, start it.
Do you want to?
I'm normally a blunt smoker. How do I do this?
Okay, so let me show you. All right, so right in the middle. So I started using it for PTSD.
Nice.
And depression. I had a large problem with that. So this right here is like an email on all the time, but it's better because it's quartz. And then where's my anti-corona?
It's on the front of the surfer.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Nice.
I don't know you.
No. No judgment. Got any for sale? I'll run and get one. That's all I'm gonna think about.
Yes, we have one more left.
Go get it for us first. But yeah, we did. Here we are. We always keep.
Never mind, we did.
We always keep these on hand.
Sold out. Way too
If
quick.
anybody. Yeah, we're making another ooze order today, I guess. So I started using it because I had PTSD, and because I was having huge derealization problems. I was having a lot of suicidal ideation and thoughts and stuff, and it just wasn't. And the pills that I had been on for years, like they kept upping them, and I was on the maximum dose of everything, and they wanted to add more to it, and I'm like, what is the point of this life if I'm just going to be zombified, right? Or what is the point of me pumping all of these chemicals into my body if I'm still having these problems? Yeah. And then I tried cannabis.
And they're creating more problems too.
Yes.
You know, it's not just.
And we don't even know the problems they're all creating, right? Because now we're finding that ibuprofen kills livers.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like, I just saw something for Zantac. They prescribed me Zantac in the military. Said, "Here, take one every day." You know, that's a 2-week prescription. I was on it for 10 years. Thanks, VA. You know what I'm saying? And then I found that cannabis cures all of that.
Yeah, of course.
All of my problems, cannabis fixed.
Yeah.
And so that's where my betrayal comes from. I feel betrayed by my country and by my government for keeping this from me for so long. And making me fight these things for so long.
Well, to make
when
it
they
seem
could
so demonized too.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just that cannabis was like, you know, decriminalized, descheduled. It's a controlled one substance. You know.
That's a big deal.
Over 100
They're
years,
treating it like heroin.
Yeah, absolutely. It's worse, and you know, in the eyes of the law. And it's just so a controlled one substance essentially has no medical value. It has highly addictive tendencies, and it's very dangerous. So. Like which part of cannabis, you know, and whenever we were applying for dispensary, we had to have, you know, parts about making sure people were aware of the addictive qualities of cannabis, you know, keeping pamphlets and like that at the front desk, like even to be aware of the drug effects of cannabis, you know, and it was really a lot of, it's crazy seeing how much goes into the drug war, you know, I mean, it's been 100-year fight. So seeing it end, it's crazy that it's even still federally illegal. But I always say, like, when the right money's in the right place, it'll be legalized. But
for sure. Well, we're in we're like the death throes of prohibition, right? Yeah. That's why it feels like it's a game instead of a struggle for a lot of people. Right. But again, that's for Missouri. Like how comfortable are we in Missouri now with weed? Like think about that, because there's other states still that aren't legal. Think about that, like there's still states that you can't smoke weed in. Right. That's insane. I don't want to visit your state if I can't smoke weed there legally, people. You want to make tourist money?
I'm not coming.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't accept my card as valid in your for legal reasons, like I don't care if your dispensaries let me get good prices or let me get those, but as long as your courts, when I get pulled over, I can be like, here's my Missouri card. It's, you know, and as long as that's good, I'll come to your state. But I literally will not drive to a state where I can't take my medicine, because why would I?
Yeah. Because I will be crazy the whole trip. I will not have fun. Like, you know, if I can't really medicate appropriately, then I'm
good. I think we're probably
fish out of water.
Right? Yeah. So you are a daily therapeutic user.
Well, absolutely, and especially now that I'm really using edibles more than anything, it's a much steadier high for me. That's why I'm really trying to push cooking with cannabis.
It's steadier, isn't it? It's like
It's
you
so
get
much
there and
more
you stay.
even. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And smoking flower is bad for you. It is. You're inhaling combusted plant material, and I say that as a daily blunt smoker.
Butane.
Yeah, absolutely. So to find, a way that's not going to further. I've had chronic bronchitis since I was 18, and this is the first year I really haven't had that, knock on wood.
Right.
So it's.
I think that's probably pressed.
Damn it, Trent.
Look,
Let me
have
live
you
my
noticed
dream.
that you walked into like a 20-year-old's first apartment building in here?
Put up some,
Really
Bob
crappy,
Marley posters.
really crappy things to sit on,
It's
right?
comfortable. It had a lot of
But
spring
the
back
money
when I
is
sat
the
down.
money is in the weed devices, and the TV and the stereo is killer.
Exactly.
It's literally like we're back in like
Who's
the
gonna
year
walk in and be
2000
like,
for me.
This is not up to par. This is
Right,
Not
this
I've got
is-
enough couch for my ass to sit upon.
Yeah, yeah. So these are like, they're like the.
It's wet.
ones.
Like when I sat down, I was like, "Oh, you got some spring back for."
No, that's because like they're not connected very well. See that? Like if you push back too far, it will not spring back.
It's not coming back at all.
Yeah, that's why the wall is there. And this one has actually fallen off before,
Oh.
and it was interesting because it was to me.
Someone just goes.
So I just sat back and just. You don't realize how fast you move. Like it's like when you stand up and there's something above your head, and you realize that you just stood up at 100 miles an hour.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Knock yourself out, and that's the most embarrassing story
Oh,
to tell.
God.
Like, no one hit me. I knocked myself out.
So Beth says, after smoking cannabis for 6 months, that it slowed down her lupus and my kidneys are back up. Moved to Oklahoma. I'm sorry, Beth. I hate Oklahoma. Like I hate job. I used to work. I used to work construction. I used to work roofing, and I used to work in Joplin, and then we would do some work in Oklahoma and Kansas, and we always did it in the summertime, and it was always 120 degrees up there on the roofs, and it's always hot. It's always hot in Joplin, like it's always hot and like.
Wet hot too.
I was gonna say dry hot. It's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a
We're in
witch
different
town.
places. Yeah.
It might be a witch town, and it's
It's
different
whatever
for
you hate the
everybody.
most.
Joplin, wear whatever you hate the most. You're welcome, guys. Go ahead, take that. But we're in such a weird time in like advertising and marketing and all this weird. Like we're having people getting so creative with marketing that might actually
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
You could be like Joplin, like Portland did it. Keep Portland weird.
Yeah.
Like Portland owned that,
Yes.
and now that's their thing.
Like, well, it's just.
We're all becoming
Yeah.
hippies.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Are you a liberal or conservative?
I'm not necessarily. I'm spiritual, Trent.
Give me 5. Give me 5. I
That's the
sprung that
only
one on her.
answer.
We didn't do that one on the.
Yeah, I try to have that one in my back pocket at all times.
I used to think I was conservative and I hated liberals. Now I think I'm a
It's
human
all-
being and I hate elites.
Yeah, I think that I'm just like trying to do my best to make sure that I
Yes.
mind my P's and Q's, and the day that like caring about someone else's job and place, I'll
Mhm.
take some notice then. And I do stay, I stay updated. I don't like people who are just like actively ignorant. But
Well,
I
if you
just
stay
try to-
updated, that's probably why you're neither one.
Yeah, because I'm like everybody's messing up.
Yeah.
No side is a good side right
Yeah.
now. So.
I like to keep my Facebook page filled with both sides, and then you see the weirdest things. You see the weirdest like dissonance between reporting for either side. It's almost like I've stepped back
Mhm.
and I let my friends tell me what they're seeing on their Facebook pages,
Yeah.
and it's like it's kind of scary.
Mhm. Well, and it's
But I'm
hard,
excited
you know.
because I fear that's the only thing that gives me adrenaline anymore is fear.
Yes.
So I'm like
Yes.
the greatest.
That's healthy. I like it. I feel that.
Are you
Put
really?
yourself
Or-
in a crazy situation.
No,
you're
but like
I want
I've
to
I've
skydive
I've got to
and
fly around in a Black Hawk helicopter at nighttime shooting flares off in a war zone.
Yeah.
That was freaking amazing.
Mhm.
I used to do wheelies. I used to race motorcycle with my knee on the ground. Like I used to fight people. I used to like simulate murder with people.
Right.
And whoever sucked worse got killed and had to admit that they sucked more and they died right there. Like that's what that
Right.
means. Like when you tap somebody, that means I'm dead now.
Yeah.
And you're like, please let go, because if they don't let go, you're dead. Like
Right.
you're literally dead. So for me, I've taken fear and putting it so far away. I'm just like Like, it doesn't even mean anything to me anymore. So, I don't know. That's probably why I fight elites. Because I'm like, what can you do to me? Like, what can you do to me? Like, really, it is.
You know, it is fear-based because, like, people who are fearful are the most easy to manipulate and control, I think.
For sure.
Coming to a place where it's just like, que sera, you know, like it's gonna come out the way it's gonna come out, and preparing myself one way or another, but not being fearful of that, I guess, is just the only way I can stay sane. I got a lot of shit going on in my head. I don't need anything else.
That's kind of what I feel. I feel like, I'm like, all right, people, let's get this together. Let's build this. I'm a communitarian. I'm not a liberal or a conservative. I'm a communitarian, which means I only care about my local network first, then my local neighborhood community after that, then my city, then my county, then right. But that all turns us, instead of looking at Washington and all the craziness, or even looking at Jeff City and all the just insane things going on there, or even looking at Marshfield and all the craziness going on here right now in our government with them getting in trouble, or Springfield with them getting in trouble, and you turn to your own network and you're like, hey, so you and I, we're going to build a network, right? And I'm going to blow glass for whatever you need, and you're going to cook. And then we're like, Q can grow some fire weed. Look at Q in this network. You're like, Matt, he likes Blink 182. So
that's a quality we need.
That's a freaking quality, man. That's a freaking. But you know, you build that network, your personal network, and you get that strong, and then no matter what happens, like, because I know I'm not going to be able to do everything that needs to be done if Walmart shuts down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I know I'm an Aldi girl.
That's a scary. But think about it. Just think about tomorrow. Walmart says coronavirus shuts us down. Yeah.
We're
You're not screwed. You're fucked.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Like,
we've become a
my wife's like, please don't say.
A very dependent
But
society.
it's true. It's true. If you look up, okay, so do you guys, you know what a larder, anybody know what a larder is? It's an old word. It's an old word, Melissa. You know what it is. Yes. Anybody else? Does anybody else in the room know what a larder is? Anybody online? Okay, we'll see, because there's a delay. All right, so a larder is, if you look it up on Wikipedia, it will tell you it is an outdated form of keeping your food safe, because it's the holes in the ground that people would go in and put all their fresh food. They take it down there. The humidity stays right, the temperature stays right, everything. Right, so that's a larder. Nobody has them anymore, and it says these are no longer in use due to grocery stores. So
because it's so accessible.
Yeah. So now what does that tell us? That tells us that most people can't survive the winter without grocery stores.
Forget the winter; they can't survive the week.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was giving them a lot of.
Well, and we had people who passed during even like the ice storm. You know.
Yes.
You know, it's just like.
Yes.
People are.
We live in a very comfortable world. That's what that tells you. We live in a very
first world society for sure.
Do you like to read?
Absolutely, yeah. Do
you read Asimov at all? Okay. Then that won't work. But we live in a very frail world. I often think, so I work for the government, right? And I work against terrorists. So Sun Tzu taught us to work against terrorists. You must understand terrorists. So that's how I think. Like, it was drilled into me, and that's how I think because it makes sense. I'm like, all right, cool. If I want to understand somebody, if I want to be able to be somebody, I need to understand them, right? So.
That's not a bad approach by any means.
Right. Well, I'm a warrior mentality. Like, up here is warrior, right? Like, I'm a Viking, but I have to wear like normal clothes and not a kilt and not carry a hatchet around.
And I think that's why a lot of people do deal with that, that like drive for not even fear, like it's an adrenaline thing, you know, for sure. Like just like that stretch for insane adrenaline because you have the warrior spirit, but it's like in a pretty docile society, you know, where we're like. You don't have to,
I can't watch Vikings too much because I'll get depressed that I'm not a Viking.
You can't do it.
I can't do it. I'm like watching somebody do a blood eagle, and I'm like, have you watched Vikings? The show Vikings?
I love that show.
You saw the blood eagle? That dude has that guy has my respect. He was a bad dude, right? And the only way he could get into Valhalla was if he didn't scream during getting a blood eagle. What a blood eagle is they strap him.
When they cut
They
the
strap
back
they
open?
strap him down, expose his back, and take a hatchet and they break
Oh.
his bones, his ribs from his spine, and they open him up. They take his lungs and they put him up on top, and it looks like eagle's wings as he breathes and he dies like that.
Okay.
So the only way for this man to enter Valhalla is if he endured that without making a sound. That's my kind of society.
Yeah.
That's my kind of society.
No,
That's
I'm
black
such a
and white.
princess.
No,
I would,
you
like,
can't
go
do
to dinner
that.
and I'd be like, wait. I'm not
You should. Nah. You watch it, Q?
Yeah.
You know she would be his. What's his name? Ragnar Lothbrok's wife. She's crazy, man. She'd be. She already got the braids going. All you gotta do is shave right here.
The warrior.
She
version.
died
Just
off
shave
of that.
right here. You already got the braids.
Nailed it.
She died
I can
off of
see
that,
it.
so she can't.
Shut up.
Damn. You just was. It looks like a split.
I haven't watched it all because I seriously I get upset and depressed that I can't live my life as truly as the Vikings did because everything they did. So do you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So level 1 is important. If we don't have level 1, we can't hit level 2, right? And it's always shown as a pyramid, but it's really not. But it's always shown as a pyramid. If we don't get level 1 needs met, nothing else matters.
Yep.
So how many of our level 1 needs have we outsourced to other people?
Exactly.
How about security?
Yep.
Do you practice your own security?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing, right? Most
Yeah.
people don't.
Yes.
Do you outsource your food,
Yep. Food, shelter,
shelter?
clothing, the whole
Yeah.
nine. I know how to sew. I'm a great cook, but I don't like forage the materials, the cotton that I
Right.
grow myself. And then,
Right.
we really are. And at this point, it's really so much less expensive to buy from the store. I look at
Yeah.
all these crafts, these 5-minute
Yes.
crafts. That's a bad example, but you look at these like, okay, you could either build this super crazy material by yourself, or you could buy it at IKEA for $20.
Right.
It's
Right.
like, okay, you have to.
But
put it
there's like
together.
a value. So me and my wife, we watch TV shows. We enjoy watching TV shows. Do you like Parks and Rec?
Of
Okay.
course.
Right.
And The
Do you know how
Office.
often they're stoned on there?
All of
So
them.
Ron Swanson has a book. I mean, it's not
Nick
Ron Swanson. It's
Offerman.
Nick Offerman, but I
I
thought I
don't know
had
where
it
your
here.
book is.
Anyway,
I think
it's called
over in the studio.
it is. Oh, it is over in the studio. Called Paddle Your Own Canoe,
Oh.
and he talks about weed in there. That man loves weed, and so I'm like, watch. They have her. So Nick Offerman, who plays Ron Swanson, and
Amy Poehler,
Amy Poehler, who plays
Leslie.
Leslie Knope,
Mhm.
have a show called Making It.
I've seen
And
bits of this.
It is
It's awesome.
so awesome.
Yeah.
It celebrates imperfections. It celebrates having fun. It celebrates doing it not for work.
Yeah.
And so our school systems teach us to be factory workers, right? Because that's what we needed.
9 to 5s, yeah.
But that's what we needed, right? That's what we needed because we were in the industrial age, baby. We had to get people going. We had to get people reading, writing, math on the line. Let's get this country built.
And not
But now we
everyone is
need,
built to,
but now we need
structure
like different
themselves.
things.
Not everyone can work for themselves either, though.
Right.
I know people who need that direction and structure. They won't do
Yes.
anything with their
Yes.
lives, and that sounds bad. But
No.
there are I don't want to say sheep, but it's like the people that will fall in line and then
Yes.
need that. Everyone needs a specific.
Well, it
job,
literally
and then there
takes
are other people who will.
All kinds.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And it takes, because if we all did our own business, I don't know, that sounds pretty good to me.
I don't know.
I'm
yeah,
a
I was just
business owner
thinking, I
though,
was
so I'm sitting here, I'm thinking like,
it's hard.
well,
you know?
but you know how nice this
And
is?
I think that
This
small
is what I
business
do.
is like set to, I can't remember the percentage of it, but not a lot of small business is successful because
Right.
not everyone has community support is huge.
Right.
That's, for a small business, it's like
That is it. That's the only reason,
75%.
that's the only reason we are still here.
Yeah, that's what I
Is
say.
because the
Yeah,
community
absolutely.
was like, bet.
Yep.
As the kids say. You're a kid to me, you know that?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this really cool. So like I'm 38. So I hate hipsters by default.
Yes, of course.
It's like a thing. But every day I see myself turning into more of a hipster.
I know.
And it's a really weird thing, you know, like...
It's the cannabis, man. It's all the cannabis.
Have you figured out why that does it?
I mean...
Have you ever thought about it? Because I think about that. I think about it. I think about, why does cannabis do this? Why does it do this? What makes cannabis put people together in a room and we can have people that probably have completely different views, that if you're on Facebook with each other, you'd be like, well, listen here, mother, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, I'll come to your face. And then every time you offer them to come to your place.
It's cool.
Yeah, they're like, well, you got a lot of guts online. And I was like, well, send me your address. I'll come see you. Like, or you can come see me. I've had one person come and see me, Champ Heron, and I'd vote. I don't like him I like his views on ways forward for Marshfield. Yeah. But I would vote for him because he's got balls. And that's pretty much what I care about. I care about, are you a politician or do you have balls? Because you can't be both. That's a choice. You either have balls or you're a politician. Fight me. Right? Fight me, right? Like, fight me. Exactly. Change my mind. But fight me because I don't believe it. And I believe it so passionately that I would fight somebody over that. For sure I would fight somebody.
I would. That's probably the only political group I'll ever get involved in, because I just don't believe, you know, in really...
I think we're going to do one that you'll like. And I think Patients Helping Patients is going to actually become an organization. Like, there's rumblings here, there's hashtags. So you know it's got the kids. It's got some validity. But you know, Patients Helping Patients, man, that's all we've seen all over the state. Literally the only one that has the patients back is the patients.
Of course,
It's the only ones. And so as we move forward, I think it's great to like be strong as patients. So you're a dispensary owner, right? So you have a different view of what dispensaries are really expensive mean. I sent that shirt to Jamie one time because I saw, you know, have you seen the Dare? Dispensaries are really expensive.
I have not seen that.
I sent it to Jamie from a business owner perspective, right? Because I've looked at that volume, I looked at that overhead, I looked at all those numbers. So I sent it to her as a joke, like, haha, business owner, dispensaries are really expensive.
Well, and that's why, you know, after all the people who we had letters of intent with to cultivate and manufacture, you know, didn't get licensing, it was like, ooh, let's, you know, I was kind of relieved whenever the results finally came out, and it was like, okay, at least now we have direction we can go. You know, we were denied an application license, but I was like, now we can breathe. You know, we had a team meeting before the licensing
how Jamie
came out.
Felt too. She said she was kind of like, well, at least it's over.
Yeah, I mean, it just really sucks because, you know, there were all these extensions and deadline. I mean, it was like the most, and I joke, but I was like manic all of 2019 because it was just like, I was like, I am literally on a threshold of panic.
So 2018, it passed.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
and I had just found weed.
Got to work. Yeah.
I just found weed.
That's awesome. What a good time to find it.
3 months. Could you imagine?
That's cool.
Could you imagine me in a non-legal state as a smoker?
No.
I would have moved to Colorado.
Yeah, you would have.
There's no way. We had already
looked
into it.
Yeah.
We had already looked into it.
Yeah.
Because it was that important. They were about to lose a resident.
Well, that happens.
You know?
A lot,
oh, it happens all the time.
I can't imagine how many people in Kansas, especially, has lost.
There's people that have houses in Colorado that are empty 6 months of the year.
Airbnb. I throw it out there.
Right?
Yeah, you know.
What were we talking about? It was really.
Pay you to come to Denver.
I was excited. Is there who has not smoked and remembers? See, this is what I hate about cannabis. I hate that. I call it a temporary fugue state.
The memory.
I hate that little. I call it. Well, it's like you're on the highway and you're driving, and then you get off. But if you can just get back to that turnoff, you're back on, and you're back on.
Yeah.
And I could pick right back up on that conversation like I had just dropped it, right? And that's my least favorite drawback to the usage of cannabis.
You were talking about she was in a manic state all of 2019.
Oh, that's right. So I had found cannabis, and then my buddy and I went to Red Robin's to eat, and he's a business owner, and I had some ideas, and I had some stuff going, you know, and I was like, well, so we flew to San Diego the next day.
Oh, that's a fun trip. Yes.
Like for real, like we're like, he's like while we're, so, because we said, let's go explore this, because I had found an investor.
Yeah.
I had found the business plan. I had found a lot of stuff, but I didn't know how to be a business. Like I didn't know how to business. It was, so there's a gate into business, and it's very hard to understand your first time. Like all the different payments you have to do here and this, and you got to do it this way, and you've got to file with the state, and it was overwhelming to me, which I think is should be illegal, to make it so overwhelming to start a business that you're like, maybe not.
Yeah.
So we flew out there that weekend. This was in December of 2018, probably like when?
Oh, I'm not sure. Like,
No, this was the very beginning of December. Yeah, December. So it passed in November. Maybe December. Maybe not. It might have been before Thanksgiving. It was before Thanksgiving, I think. Flew out there to LA, recruited a master grower. Let's go, right? Let's go. He's worked. We got to see his grows. I have never seen that much weed before.
That's a good moment.
That was when I found out that 500 plants isn't a big deal.
It's always kind of an eye opener.
She's like whistling, like.
See.
Well, that's
See it
when
on
you
a
find
large
out that
scale.
100 pounds isn't a big deal. That's when you find out that.
Precious baby 100 pounds.
Oh.
That's like a kid.
Oh, you're moving packs? That's cute. Here's a pound. Good luck. You know? But out there, in the real world of cannabis in Southern California, and he wouldn't even have huge grows.
Yeah.
You know? He didn't do an outdoor grow.
Right.
But yeah, so we built our business plan. We were ready to go. We had, if you look up Missouri Medical LLC, that's us. That's me and my buddy Travis. We incorporated quickly, and sorry to the guy that got Medical Missouri. He's on my friends list. So I was like, oh, I bet he's pissed that we got Missouri Medical LLC before he got. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that was his first choice. But we were going, like we were ready, and that's when we found out it was going to cost about $250 a square foot to build out the kind of facility we wanted.
Yeah.
That's $6.5 million for one for one grow, 30,000 square foot. We were doing, I mean, go big or go home, right? You're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly.
Yeah.
So we had found 80 acres out here in Webster County. We were gonna do 30,000 square foot, full fertigation. They talk to each other. You just hit a button. You're like, we're gonna grow green crack today. Beep, and you hit that button, and it just does it for the next 12 weeks, right? You're like, all right, cool, time to switch. Boom, right? So I know what that, and it was fun, right? Like that manic feeling.
Because it's new, yeah, exactly.
It was so. I was building. And it was so fun that when our investor decided to go work somewhere else in our companies, that company has kind of changed so much. It's even evolving now. Like I just talked with him the other day, and we're like, oh, you were here, were you with Travis? Were you here with Casey? Yeah. We're like, oh, that's a good idea. Hey, Missouri Medical could do that, right? So it's still there, and it's still a vial. It's just kind of like dormant right now.
Like Missouri Medical, you guys grabbed that one.
Yeah. I'd like to
Nailed
see.
that.
I would like to see what the date of incorporation is on Missouri. We should look that up. The date of incorporation on Missouri Medical, because, like, we went up there. We were like, because we know how fast does the industry change?
Oh my gosh, every day.
Every day.
Just like.
Every day. We just found out that Lyndall doesn't like his job.
Yeah.
And that he thinks that Christian
Would
people
you?
shouldn't.
I'd be out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I would love that job. We'd already have weed to the people.
Yeah, I know, but that's
We would have dispensaries open. We would be looking past all, because here's what Lyndall was so worried about politics. That he was worried that people were going to bring in weed from out of state. Like that was like their biggest concern, was weed from out of state coming in for the dispensaries. Where's it going to come from?
But in the conference this week,
Oh, you went to did you go to the MoBizCon conference?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about
It was
anything
fun.
awesome about that
It
that
was
you want
awesome.
to tell
Matt was
everybody.
there too.
Matt was
yeah.
there? That was awesome?
I had a great time. I always just kind of go to socialize with the people I know and love who
Okay.
I've met in the cannabis industry
Right.
and community.
I got some live and FaceTimes from people up there.
Yes,
Laura,
Anna
Harrison,
was there.
maybe.
Yeah, Laura. Oh, she's amazing.
Have you met Laura
Lee Carter.
Harrison?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've actually met her, but she
Um,
seems super cool. And I
she
think
is
we're
a
actually working on
badass,
some stuff.
yeah.
Because isn't she working with, what is she? She does the events, right?
Mhm.
The Mo Pop team, is that their thing?
Mm,
They do the pop-up events.
No, that's there's Julie Gariapi. She's
Yeah.
at Normal. She does
Yeah, I know.
THC too. Dan
Yeah.
Nash.
There's so many groups.
There's so many groups.
Can we consolidate groups? Just
one
throwing it
big
out
group.
there. Just throwing it out there. Can we do one
Please.
big group?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
gets
trying
confusing.
to follow them all. Yeah.
And the problem, I don't know why you go into groups. I go into groups mostly for business
Mhm.
because I want to
Yeah,
help
of
people,
course.
right? I want to go in there and anytime I see a thing about, is there a better way to smoke weed? You're gonna see me in there, and I'm gonna be pimping Silver Surfer
Yeah.
super hard.
Well, and even finding, in communities that aren't necessarily huge, like Springfield and Just City, Marshfield and Nixa really need shops like this that are cannabis friendly. We have.
Could
people
you
come
say
all
that
the time.
louder and into the mic?
We need them cannabis friendly.
What's up, dude? Cody, that's you.
But really,
Cody, gotta work.
holler them off.
So we're gonna start. So we just got the map.
Yeah.
The map of all of the different counties for how many people are out there, and there's some counties that are very underreached.
Yeah.
So I've already had somebody from Southeast Missouri reach out to me and be like, "Hey, would you be interested in doing an event down there?"
Nice.
So what that map is really cool for is that we can see the underserved counties, and then we can go and throw a huge patient drive.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Because a lot of that probably just doesn't.
We're gonna have
the
taco
outreach.
truck. Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't have a doctor, so Dr. Z's gonna come down there because they're from St. Louis, and we'll try to get I don't know how. Some people don't like Dr. Z. I like anybody
I've had
that smokes weed.
experiences with Dr. Z. Yeah, I saw her at the.
You know what I'm saying?
I saw her on Monday. I gave her a cookie.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I like anybody that's for the plants.
Yeah.
And we all, even in the normal
I think
meeting, we all
people
had
have
different
criticized,
opinions.
her methods, but as long as if she's found a loophole, ride that loophole, sis. Like that's I think what we're all doing at this point,
I mean, do
I
you have a
think
dispensary that you go to?
right.
Has the
and
state
just
allowed you to
keep
purchase
trying
it
to-
legally now? Yes.
She's got a lot of people certified, so
It's got a lot.
so
I-44
I don't have
is-
anything wrong with Dr. Z.
I-44 is so thankful
Mhm.
that somebody did
Yep.
it. Because, for example, my grandmother,
Mhm.
her doctor couldn't give it to her.
Exactly.
Now,
And
my
you know,
grandma's not a pothead. Don't be
Right.
telling grandma. Sorry,
Right.
grandma.
She's
She uses
like-
a cream. She uses actually this. She uses a cream for her hip.
Nice. Yeah.
She was out to Colorado because that's where we're from. Just family out there, and they're like, it's recreational.
Yeah.
It's not a taboo.
At
It's
least try.
like
it,
you can go into Maggie's farm there right in Manitou Springs and just walk in there and grab it and walk out, and everybody's like, "Oh, have a good day." Like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So she was out there in that culture, in that climate, where they're like, "Well, have you tried this?" And she's like, "Oh no,
That's that weed.
That's not weed. That's not weed."
That marijuana.
But then she tried it,
Mhm.
and
Changed her
she's
life.
been trying different CBD stuff, and it's just not working. And she came to me. She said, she calls me Trenton.
Mhm.
There's only like 5 people that call me
Trenton.
Trenton.
Yeah.
She calls it Trenton.
That's precious.
I think I need that. And I said, okay,
That's such a sweet
but
moment.
I told her to go to her doctor
Mhm.
because I was like, well, if you can get your insurance paid for it, go ahead and do it that way.
Get it, girl, yeah.
Because now, at first, it was like if you were having insurance pay for it, it was a really big deal. But now I think it's not as big a deal. I got mine. When did you get your card? What's your number? Is it lower than 234?
No, I wish. I wish. I had my first appointment back in July, but I didn't have enough paperwork at the time to back because I have.
Back then,
it
right?
was
Back
tougher.
then.
So mine's October.
Did you go see
when I
Lisa?
finally got it. Yeah, and that's why I had a little issue because they wanted good and validation. I was like, okay,
I went.
I don't have it, and I'm crazy.
I
need a
went to
card.
Lisa. She's the only one on Weed
She's
Maps.
incredible,
She was
yeah.
an early adopter.
Yeah.
Love Lisa.
I love Lisa.
Get better.
What she's done, yes.
Don't
everything.
bring back Mexican
Yeah.
flu with you when you come.
Right.
But she was the only doctor, and she came very highly recommended by a lot of people I trusted.
From the beginning, yeah.
Yes, from the
I mean,
beginning. If you looked on Weed Maps, Lisa Rourke, Cassville. So I called her up in like
What?
May.
Mhm.
Oh, is it almost time? Okay, cool. And I had my appointment June 15th because I was like, that should give everything enough time for me to, I was riding that line because I wanted to be as legal as possible, as quick as possible, so that they.
Patient one, man.
I want to be patient for 20, but
One.
so that's what we went to see Lisa, and she was amazing. And back then, we were also nervous, and I was so nervous that I wouldn't get approved.
Yeah.
So nervous, and so I had like a 100-page summary of my military, 100-page summary of my military stuff. I had 700 pages, and I said, "What do we need?" Because here's the deal, Lisa. I'm smoking it one way or another, but I didn't know how cool she was back then, so I didn't want to say nothing, I was very. It was very like it's so weird. That's a year. That wasn't even a year ago.
I know.
And I was like, oh man, I hope I qualify. I hope I qualify. Because if I don't, I'm moving.
Exactly. It has to be a life change at that point, and you have to realize, like, okay, my whole life is cannabis. So many new friends that I have on my page are all about cannabis.
Oh yeah.
So I see it all the time.
They all wave at you. Those wavers, you know what they want? They want to sell you weed. If they wave at you, if you add them on and they wave at you, they're like, "Hey, I got that weed."
Yeah.
And you're like, "No,
Block.
that's not why I'm."
Block,
Exactly.
block, block.
Wouldn't it be funny? I could train Webster County to catch so many people. I could train them.
Facebook is
so many.
people are ridiculous on
People
social
are
media.
crazy.
I just really.
Because they think that it's back in the day. They think they're in Law and Order time where they've got the kingpin and he goes dun 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 and it goes this and you work on your way up the chain, and then you find the big guy, right?
Yeah,
but that's not how weed works.
No.
That might be how meth works. That might be how heroin works. But how weed works is, I have a friend in Washington. I'm like, "Hey, bro, hook me up with some of them diamonds you got," and he's like, "Cool. Hit me up on Venmo. Hit me up on PayPal. Hit me up on Cash App. Hit me up on whatever." But it's no longer like these huge. I mean, they still exist, I'm sure, because come on, that's money. But most people just have what they call angels. You ever heard them called angels? Angels in a legal state. So, and it'll happen here as people get lost. There will become angels in this state that then send medicine to people in illegal states.
See, yep.
And those are called angels because they help people, right? And so in illegal states, you have to have, if you don't have a network, if you don't already know the group, if you haven't been smoking for a while, you have to find somebody in a legal state that will help you out.
Yep.
Luckily, cannabis is freaking amazing.
Exactly.
And everybody will hook you up.
People really like to share cannabis. I can't wait till we're a rec state and we can really just
My gosh. You know how many pound connects I got in Colorado? Listen to this. This is a great story. Last story. I landed in Colorado Springs to start this store. I was originally going to Indo Expo as a grower.
Fun.
Oh, Indo Expo is insane.
I saw videos this year and I was like,
if I had the money, I would have gone, but I bought a store instead. I didn't have any money anymore. But yeah, so I went out there. So I land and I'm getting my rental car and I'm talking and they're like, "Oh, what are you here for?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm starting a head shop." They're like, "All right, hey, here's my number if you ever need a pound." I'm like, "What?" The car rental dude, we just talking because it's a while, right? But he's like, I talk to everybody. She hates it. She's trying to get me to shut up right now. But I'm just talking and they're like, and by the time I'm gone, they're like, "Hey man, here's the," and I joked. I told Casey, I told my Casey that I came back with 3 pound connects. And she's like, "Whatever." And then like, I don't know, like 3 or 6 months later, I'm cleaning out my wallet. And I'm over here and I'm just like, because it gets big. And I was like, "Here you go, you want a pound? Hey, you want some pounds? Here." And I literally pulled out 3 numbers that I had in my pocket that I had gotten just because I thought it was funny. But it was from there, then it was from a family member, and then from another family member actually. It's weird. None of them smoke. They all know people that sell weed.
Because it's Colorado.
Yeah, because it's Colorado. I'm gonna post a screenshot of a text. Do you get texts from legal states of like their prices and stuff and their discounts?
It's such a tease though, because I always sign up for the memberships when I go, because I'm like, I want to be a member. Sign me up. I'll save 10% when I'm here.
Yeah, and then it's like $17, 8th today, a strawberry cough, and you're like, "Well, screw you too, legal."
Yeah, it's a tease for sure.
I get legals because I like theirs. But yeah, I can't wait till it's here.
Yeah.
right? We got to start doing text blasts for Laughing Dragon. Have you ever thought of that for your Cannabelews? Like,
we've even thought like about starting with emails, like constant contact kind of thing, just to get like newsletters out to people, so they're not like. I know some people are weird about text. I don't know, but I feel like text is probably the more updated.
The newer generation does not mind
exactly
because that's how I get my news.
Yeah. But
like that's how I get my news right there. So like when I get a text from Legal or from LiveWell or from whoever, I'm like, oh sweet, that's nice. And then it doesn't bother me because it's one of like 1,000 texts or notifications that I get during the day. So
but I'm even finding like the demographic we're reaching out, especially in Christian County, is an older demographic. You know?
Sure.
It's really the people that I'm like, I'm gonna learn to grow. Like it's touching.
Yes.
You know, I think it's beautiful.
That's my favorite part is having. Well, you met Dawn. Freaking Dawn. Dawn was in here earlier.
Is the Dawn.
It's crazy. He's like 83. Just found cannabis. Just got off all his opiates. The dude is happier than he's been in years.
Yeah.
And he's always happy. He's got a Silver Surfer. They come up here every Saturday to come and they hit this one because this has the fan on it, right? So and he can't inhale very well. So we turn the fan on and he just he doesn't have his teeth anymore.
He doesn't need it.
He don't need teeth.
Not for this.
No, did you see him? That man's got skill. Like, could you imagine if he had that much bravado when he was younger? No. He would be beating women off with a stick. That guy. He's just the man. I love. He comes to visit me every day.
He's so personable, though.
But it's all about cannabis, and the reason why he's here is cannabis. The reason why I know him is because of cannabis. The reason why you know him now is cannabis, and now we have that that moment in our life. You know, we're all going to be in a thousand years. We're all going to be dead.
Yes.
Everything's going to be destroyed. Everything's going to be gone.
Think about 1,000 years ago.
So what really matters? Yeah. What really matters is making Dawn have a good day.
Yeah.
Or Dawn making me have a good day because I'm
quality
selfish.
Of life. Yeah.
It is. That's what I honestly think it is, and I think that we've lost that in our society. Yeah. So on that note, what else do you have to say? Now that we've taken everybody to the depths, the bottom of society, what else?
2,000.
Oh, we just hit 2,000 followers. We have to give something away.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's give them. Should we do a medicated? So should we give to medical card only? That's the next step I haven't done. Is giving something away to a medical card only having person, because I'd like to include everybody.
Medicine, I would ask a lawyer about it for sure. Because there's the little steps in him.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's just a plant.
Yeah.
Right, it's just a plant, and I really think that I would make them just look really silly if they did that, and I'm kind of looking forward to that point. I think we're getting close to the point of the bubble bursting and everybody calming down and taking a breath.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to
There's about 1,000 education classes we need to do, and then the bubble can burst. You know, I feel.
You think we're that far away? You think we're really that far away?
I think that if we get the right sources out and we do the medical program appropriately, then we can be there in the next year. But I really think that we are still very much in the Bible Belt, and I still get phone calls that are super anti-cannabis, and it's just
they don't do that to me because they know that I'll talk back to them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm like,
you'll talk back to them. Or are you nice on them? Are you like that professional?
I have a customer service voice at first, and then I'm like, bitch, here you go. No, but no.
Right. But then here's the thing.
If
they start coming around to my way of thinking, it's right back to customer service, and then it's friendly.
And then
and then after customer service, you're like, I call up my reps for this stuff. Like, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? Yeah. And I'm like, this is the coolest industry.
It is, yeah. It's
it's everywhere.
Back,
I could call.
It's also very facetious. There's a lot of bullshit. In this
well,
industry.
you got
if you
got in that.
Then it's all good.
You got in that very highly contentious zone of cannabis. That's so contentious. But everybody loves the dude who makes a pipe.
Yeah.
That's why I'm because everybody I don't have any. I'm not loyal to Dr. Z. I'm not loyal to Cannabelews. I'm not loyal to Jamie or to Laughing Dragon even.
Right.
I'm more loyal to the plant. Casey's loyal to Laughing Dragon.
Right.
I'm loyal to the plant.
Yeah.
I don't give a crap about anything.
Yeah, you have to be so patient focused and then just build from that. Good things come whenever you are going in the right direction and helping people.
Yes.
And I think that is why I've been so blessed at the age that I am to do what I'm doing. You know, it's
You're pretty lucky.
I am blessed. To
Like
say the
that's
least.
you're pretty lucky to have found it so early in life.
Exactly.
Because if it was me, I'd have another. Imagine another 10 years of not having it, but still acting like you're fine. You got to go out there and tell everybody that you're fine and act like you're fine. But on the inside, you're dying, or you're wanting to be dead. But you still got to laugh at these people and smile at them, and then you got to put up with them calling you druggie.
Yes.
Did you see that? This chick called me a druggie. Like, oh, you're a druggie, friend.
Just
hey, you know what? You know what happens when people use derogatory terms towards a group of people? Those people embrace that term.
Yeah. They like spin it around.
I'm like, oh, you can call me a stoner? Yeah. Great. Stoner Saturday. Bet. You know, like Stoner Saturday. We don't have Small Business Saturday. We have Stoner Saturday. Yeah. That pissed some people off. People literally in town that had nothing to do with cannabis or me got pissed off that I called it Stoner Saturday. And I'm like,
not in our town.
I'm like, you can't even spell right. How are you offended by words if you can't even spell right?
Don't get me. I'm a grammar Nazi.
Are you a grammar Nazi?
I'll be.
Me too.
I'm like, don't type the little star and then the actual right word, but I want to so bad. It's like,
oh, if you see our text back and forth, me and Melissa, I'm trying to relax on it because it's my wife. She's not going to judge me, but I will still be like, I'll be like asterisk.
I will judge you if you don't use the right your and your. I'm like, it's a different word.
Have you read that? I bet you have. Have you read rule number 8?
No.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Casey won't let me. It's her rule.
Yeah.
And she knows that I'm a grammar Nazi, and she knows that it's like a problem. And it really is a problem. I should be able to let that go, but I can't. I was like, I'm going to change that. She said, and she looked at me with her like manager face, like, and she's like, you are not going to change that. That's my rule. And I was like, so now it just pisses. Every time I see it, it pisses. Yes, it pisses me off every time I see it. But it's good. It's good for that because that it's just a word. It's just a word. Yeah. It's just a word. We're moving towards the emoticon hieroglyphics. Have you noticed that? Because if I say like, if I put a little mushroom, and then I put a little house, and then I put a smiley face. That you cannot prosecute that. Yep. Try prosecuting that in a court of law. Well, judge, he sent mushroom, house, smiley face. Obviously, that means he's doing shrooms at his house. Or meet me at my house for shrooms. Yep. Or does it mean I just got some killer shrooms at my house that I just tripped on? Or does it mean you can't tell me that. Yep. But to me and you, it might mean something. So hieroglyphics are coming back.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because they're vague enough, they're non-prosecutable, but they're specific enough that people can talk back and forth without the worry of Big Brother watching you. Yeah. I think that we've been to this level of technology before in the history of the world.
I think so. Absolutely.
And I think that we've fallen from it, and it was a good thing. Yep. I think that we have too much. I think we have too many. I don't even like food anymore because I'd rather have freaking Taco Bell.
I can't agree.
Well, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to have like bursting flavors and really intense aftertaste, and I want to have like a full palate. And I can't just eat a carrot anymore because it's not tasty. Because why eat a carrot when I could eat a Reese's peanut butter cup?
If you infuse the carrot, let me tell you, you want to eat it all the time. Everything I eat is infused.
So tell us about your, and then we're really gonna go Wednesday brunches.
Oh my God.
Let me get you one more plug.
Yes.
Wednesday brunches. Where do you have this?
So it's at Cannabelews.
So Cannabelews was your dispensary.
This is what we were gonna structure out as a dispensary.
But because you are a ganjapreneur, because you're not a dispensary owner,
yes,
because you love the plant, and because you want to help the patients, the dispensary license was almost like a cool extra. Yeah. But you're going to do it no matter what. You're doing it.
Exactly. We've had cultivation supplies since the beginning, you know, and I get asked like,
do you?
Why do you want it? Yes.
Can we have some down here?
We opened, absolutely.
But I can't find anybody that gives me good margins on like lights and crap.
Oh.
Because I can't sell a light and make $50 on it. And it costs me $5. You know, if a light costs you $200, if it costs me wholesale $200, but then Amazon's selling it for $250, I can't afford to keep my limited amount of capital in that $200 thing when I could instead buy 10 $20 hand pipes and sell them for $40 out the door all day long, you know? And so the cultivation, we want to do it
because of that. The margins aren't.
The margins suck.
And especially for the stuff that people want. You know,
yeah, and they all want to go on the Amazon and stuff instead. Yeah. So I know Jamie's going CannaGrow, right? Mm-hmm. And I know she's doing CannaGrow up there. So Wednesdays at where's
Cannabelews, we are like
Cannabelews?
right behind the Nixa Walmart. We're like the street behind Nixa Walmart.
There's only one Walmart in Nixa.
Oh yeah.
How many people in Nixa?
Just the one. Like 20,000.
Yeah, at one point it was the fastest growing city in the country.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be at like 24,000.
Yeah, it was an insane amount of growth there for a while. So.
Well, I feel like it's
positive. And only one Walmart still.
Progressive growth.
But everybody works in Springfield.
Yeah, and it's right off the highway. You know, it's in a good area. But it's also a good location for us too because it's like, you get your groceries. You know, you come back, you hang out with us for a minute.
For sure.
But we're doing Monday night we're doing an infused chicken Alfredo. That'll be awesome.
Okay, so what? So you're doing classes?
Yeah.
So Monday night, you can go up there and learn how to use weed and I call it weed. You call it weed?
Cannabis.
You call it cannabis?
Yeah,
Are you that
do.
professional?
I'm lame. Cannabis.
No, it's the better way. It's the best. No. It's the better way.
Yeah.
I use cannabis when I'm talking professionally. Like if I was to give a discussion or lead a forum on cannabis, it would be cannabis. When I'm talking with somebody and like relax, like that's always. Some people call it pot. I hate the word pot. The word pot, I hate it. I hate it. But weed, it was like my generation's term for it. So that's what when I revert to like a comfortable place, it's weed. So.
And there's always people who, you know, I love seeing like all the different terms for it. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So Monday night. What time?
And Wednesday morning. Monday night at 6. Wednesday morning at 10:30.
Okay.
Cook with cannabis.
Do you want to
eat some of that?
Yeah, I'm about to go to sleep.
Thank you.
Hey, there's pot in that.
Huh?
Yeah, there's plenty of pot.
There's pot in that? I hate pot. I'll eat
weed in there.
I only snort dupes. But I want to go up there on Wednesday. We should plan, Key. If you want to go up there sometime, hit me up. Monday night, I'm supposed to do family home evening with the family, but I'm really bad at it lately. But Wednesday morning, what time on Wednesdays?
10:30.
10:30. And is it always breakfast food?
I like to stick with brunchy stuff. So yeah, brunch can be whatever you dream.
You're a Ron Swanson fan. Are you really like?
Of course I am.
I
am Ron Swanson. I feel like,
right,
you know, because I'm like, give me all the bacon and eggs, Ron. Like,
I fear you misunderstood. I fear what you said. You heard.
Yes.
We watch it almost every night.
I love it. Yeah, that in The Office. That's my jam. So I did.
Oh, we're gonna have.
Dig it all.
I see a great future for cannabis, and I think that the Laughing Dragon and Cannabelews can freaking make some moves. And Q, we're gonna bring Q along.
Of course.
For the fun,
Q's
you know. He's got the best weed.
Dude.
And we can say that legally, and he doesn't have to be like, "Hey, shut up."
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the beauty of being a patient. That's why I tell people, like, why should I get my card? Well, first of all, you can get meds like half price if you're paying that high price.
Right.
Second of all, it's better.
Yeah.
Third of all, you don't have to worry about like
it eliminates possession charges.
Anything, the possession charge, you don't have it, you know. And so cool. Well, that's a different topic I want to get into, but
thanks for having me on.
We're gonna shake. I've never shaken anybody's hand at the end.
Let's move to the shake.
Yeah.
After like
cannabis.
hitting the dabs, let's
cannabis. We said it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
You got it, babe?
I don't know how to turn it off.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Okay.